want you to be okay and sit with that.
Okay, but I don't wait.
Puff up and then you do that and then I'm not safe. I have to protect myself. I don't want to feel that again. That hurts.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Little Black Book. You know what time it is. Talking to you guys about Put a Ring on It. We're dealing with the third part with Hollywood and Ashley, and dealing with the date, the conversation they had with Dr. Nicole at the very, very end. I think it's a very powerful conversation. We can learn some things from about dealing with sex in your relationship, also dealing with jealousy, dealing with obviously emotions, and listening to your partner. Guys, if you are new to this channel, make sure you like, you share, you subscribe, and don't forget as well, one thing, please leave your comments down below, because what we're going to be doing is using your comments in next videos to kind of just analyze what you guys have said, because I love you guys' comments. You lot are counselors, you guys are, you know, also I don't know, practitioners, etc, etc. So we want to hear your thoughts as well. Guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, you share, subscribe, click on the bell button for a notification of the uploads. And for those of you who are new to the channel, well, you already know what it is. You got the minerals, you got the minerals. All right then, so let's get into the video. Hey, don't forget, grab your merchandise, you know, send them back to the manufacturer. Grab your merchandise, mineral gang. All right, cool. Let's talk about it. So in this particular episode, this particular part of the episode, we see Hollywood and Ashley talking to Dr. Nicole with Michael and Shay in a room as well. So what's really interesting, I think, is that we get an opening scene where Hollywood actually begins to explain how his date went, right? And so he explains something that he never really, we never saw on camera, that he explained to Ashley, right? He said originally the date was cool, but you know what? She ain't nothing like you, yeah? And so he was singing those kind of lyrics. Then when they get into the space where Dr. Nicole asked him how the date went, he says X, Y, and Z, which is that obviously this girl, you know, was interesting. She listened to him.
Spiritual like me. She was listening to everything I said, and she said she was very sexual, and you already know what it is. I'm very sexual. I'm always hiding.
You know, it was exciting. Also, you know, she also as well, you know, it's quite sexual like him, right? And I was like, bro, imagine your girl comes back from a date, says to you, oh, the guy is also sexual like me. I know we got to be honest, innit? You get me? But I think you got to present honesty in a certain way. I don't want to be too hard on Hollywood. I want to understand I understand that sometimes as guys especially, we try to indirect, right? We indirect in a different way. We will say something like this, like he just said, oh, the girl thought I was freaky, but actually what he's saying is, the girl thinks I'm freaky, I need more sex from you, right? But instead of just saying it straight, we won't. That's why I said to you, men think that women can't handle truth, but it's of course the way that we can't handle truth. You know, we can't process it oftentimes from our ladies. If a lady said, if his woman said to him, listen, when I went on a date, yeah, he was definitely sexual. The guy Hollywood couldn't even deep when she was saying that he listens to me. So I don't know how he would process that let me just rest it there. You understand? But obviously it was, you know, he was excited about the date that he went on, which is fine again, because like I said, they both signed up for this kind of show.
I'm very sexual. I'm always hiding ready, baby. Little Caesars, you feel me? Like, I'm always ready. And Ash is sexual, but I'm
what needs to work on was that the wedding situation, right? This wedding situation, her fear that she feels. What was said before that was that she felt like, you know, sorry, cancel that. Just before that was even said, he did mention something which is really interesting. He mentioned about the fact that, yes, he's sexual, and the girl said she was sexual, but he mentioned about the fact that, you know, his sexual libido is higher than Ashley's, right? And this is an interesting point. And then she was obviously said after return that it's because she doesn't feel connected, right? She doesn't feel connected to get to that place. Right? Remember, this is the emotions are run. This is why I said that most times we can't be saying that sex with women is free. You know, because it's just not free most of the time, is it? Really? You know, the emotions are attached to this. There is some type of hope in there, you know?
If it's not right with us, that affects me.
Right.
And so it wasn't about the mismatch of libido, but rather more of a case of she's not in a place to be able to engage on this particular ground with him because the work hasn't been done. And this is very important, I think, in relationships. Guys, we must understand, listen, as you go into a longer term relationship, the sex isn't just about the quick wham bam, I'm excited to get D. It's now about the emotions that go into it. You're saying you care for me, you love me. Show me how you get down. You know what I'm saying? Like, show me that care and affection, so that now she can respond to that, right? She needs to feel that safety so that she can respond to that. But at the moment, she's not feeling safe. She's not feeling emotionally connected. She feels like she's losing her connection to you. Therefore, the sexual part is also beginning to wane, right? She's now beginning to disconnect on that part. So it's not a libido situation, but more of a case of now to deal with, I'm not connecting with you in the right way. Similar to your internet. It's very slow. Sometimes it's not working well when it's not connected correctly.
And I know that kind of confirms to me that a part of our little connection that we have is a little damaged. Yeah. Because I feel too comfortable.
Some things are blocking, the speed of your internet. Now, the connection between these two are beginning to move like old school dial-up phone right now. It's moving really slow. Why? Because they have not upgraded from where they were previously. They've not moved on from where they are. We're on broadband fiber. You're still on the dial-up connection. Why? Because you've not decided to sort out the issue. You've got a brand new computer, new hardware, but you haven't sorted out the internet. The main problem isn't the hardware. It isn't the computer. It isn't your software that you've got. It is the internet connection and provider that you've got. Change the internet connection. The connection that you have at the moment is too slow. It's time to change the bandwidth. It's time to expand, have conversation, listen, be open to what she and you are saying. But because there's no listening going on at the moment, there is a lack of connection that's going on too. It don't matter how good the body is, don't matter how good the smile is, don't matter how good your D is previously. If the connection is missing for her, she's not going to be able to go into that place with you, right? So it's not a libido situation. It's more of a case of connecting situation, which means now if we can get Hollywood to a place of listening, he will get the extra sex that he wants. It's going to be there, sir. It's just needing you to now slow down and listen, take in what she's saying. Don't feel offended by everything that she's saying. Slow it down, right? And then we got onto a conversation, about the wedding and the fears about the fact that previously, when he called off the wedding, she was hurt by that.
And I know that kind of confirms to me that a part of our little connection that we have is a little damaged. Yeah. Because I feel too comfortable.
She was fearful of that, why wouldn't you? I was ready to go at the time, and now you called it off. But you didn't just call it off. You were doing things and saying things that were contradictory to the action of going to get engaged. We mentioned one of those things earlier on where she said, he wanted to date other people. So this fear that you had not only pushed you to stop the relationship, stop the marriage progression, but it caused you to also say, let's date other people. So now she feels unsure of herself in your place. She's no longer special. She's no longer the one no more. She's now considering the fact that, is this really for me? What she's looking for actually is assurance. She's looking for a confidence from you, Hollywood, to say, actually, I do want you. Now, he also is saying at the same time that, I'm working and I'm doing my hard work, etc. But she's saying the hard work you're doing is contradictory. Do you know why it's contradictory? Because the hard work is in the wrong place. If you're out here wanting your legs to grow, but you're working on your arms, it doesn't matter how hard you work. It's not your legs that are going to grow, is it? It's going to be arms. If you're working the wrong place, you're not going to benefit and reap the benefits. The hard work is good that you want to make this work, but have you asked her, how is this going to work? What do you actually need from me? You won't get that because if you don't listen and you go on 10 every single time.
Everything.
I've been trying my hardest to do whatever I can to show her, and it's still been years, right? If you gonna keep waiting these years, then we might as well just be cooling and stay friends and not even get married.
She mentions how she feels. It's going to be a problem. You get it? So the question we got to be asking is how and why. Okay, why do you feel the way you're doing? Okay, fantastic. Now I get it. How do I help this situation get to a better place for both of us? That can only be done when you slow down and actually listen. And that's the problem. There isn't listening going on. And so, you hear Hollywood's going from 0 to 10 again when he says, oh, we might as well be friends then and not do this no more, right? What that is operating is fear. underneath that bravado, we mustn't do this no more and throw it away, fear. Right? I know it because I've exhibited it myself, so I can tell you straight, fear.
Years, right? If you gonna keep waiting these years, then we might as well just be cooling and stay friends and not even get married no more, because I've been trying so long and she's just still taking her time.
The fear here of abandonment, and the fear here is I don't want to get hurt, so I'm gonna X you before you X me. You understand? Yeah, what it is. I'm gonna show you a cold shoulder. I don't care. Yeah, do what you gotta do. I don't care. I feel my life. You understand? Go and do what you gotta do. I'll be okay. Will you be okay? It'll be you and your pillow. You won't be okay. Never will she be okay. You understand? So it's all bravado because underneath it all is fear. Goes from 0 to 100 and said you're not going to do this no more. Ashley drops her head, eyes shut, hands here, and you see tears begin to fall. She's tired, bro. This is what I'm talking about, the disconnecting. It's not disconnected yet. It's disconnected. What's she tired of? You don't listen.
Still taking her time.
You can't manage how she's going to go through this.
So in a lot of the relationships that break down is because people don't listen. The primary thing that leads to everything else about how to deal with money, how to deal with sex in a relationship, how to deal with partners and friends with the same sex or opposite sex or whatever, all these issues that we talk about are to do with listening. Where we're not proactive listeners and we listen to respond because of what we've experienced. Because bear in mind, sometimes we're listening with an experience. I've experienced this. So when you say something, I got you. You see, I knew you were going to say that because, and I do it too. We listen to respond. Even now, as I'm listening to this, I'm having to listen in some way to respond in some shape or form. So, it's obvious that when she dropped her head like that, I said, oh, she's disconnecting, and she's really disconnecting big time. She's tired, bro. Emotionally exhausted, bro. And these tears are now a physical manifestation of frustration, and they're telling you something. Warning sign. Warning. If she decides to leave this relationship, she's going to be like, I didn't even see it coming. You're going to be saying that because you're not listening and watching. Okay?
When I was ready, you weren't. But you wanted me to be okay with that. You wanted me to sit in it. And now that I'm not, I want you to be okay and sit with that.
Okay, but I don't.
Hollywood says obviously she's ready. He's ready now. He doesn't get that she's not ready. She makes a point that, listen, that, you want me to be at your pace. And she says this with a passion. You want me to be at your pace, but when it was my pace, you didn't want to go. And now I'm not ready. What she's saying is, you're not doing what you need to do to make me feel ready. Not that she doesn't want to be ready, Listen, let me break it for real. She's not saying she doesn't want to be ready, Listen clearly, people. She's not saying she doesn't want to be ready. She's saying, I want to be ready, but you're not doing what you're supposed to do to help me get to that place to be assured, confident, and know for sure 100% that this is what I should be doing. Because you have filled me with doubt, uncertainty due to your behavior. And now all I'm asking for you to do is listen to me, hear me out, and then begin to act on those things. But if you don't do that, now she's frustrated, she's breaking down. Yeah. And then she says it, look, you puff up and you sit there and I'm not safe. Oh my God. If that's a warning sign, I don't know what is, cuz. Hollywood, wake up quick. When your missus says, I don't feel safe, she's actually articulated something very heavy. A lot of men are not able to understand this because they're not emotionally intelligent. No offense to men, we're not emotionally intelligent, okay? We are logical, yes, but we don't deal with emotions. And that's a problem. God created us to have both. Don't be like, I'm a man. Listen, God created you to understand that you should learn from someone who has emotions, and she too should learn from someone who has logic. It's got to go both ways. Okay? You're not a complete man if you only deal with logic and don't deal with emotions.
I want you to be okay and sit with that.
Okay, but I don't wait.
Puff up and then you do that and then I'm not safe. I have to protect myself. I don't want to feel that again. That hurts.
The situation is that I'm not safe and I have to protect myself. And I don't want to feel that again. Man, if that's not saying how she felt and breaking down what she's feeling right now, I don't know what is. That's, to me, is screaming out loud that, listen to me, the way you react, it's not creating a space that allows me to be vulnerable and to be my feminine self and to be my true self. I'm now having to protect myself from you because of what you're doing. It's a wake-up call, shaking up the world, you know? And the reason why she doesn't feel safe is because when you don't create that space, when you destroy it with your actions of anger, going from 0 to 100, impatience, you know, destroy it by not listening and hearing the person out, you're pushing that person away, you know? And then he said, obviously, he's tired of waiting.
This.
I can get it, Doc, but see, that's why I told you I need it, because I'm getting tired of waiting myself.
What did you...
And, you know, and he failed to listen. I'm tired of waiting. It's not about you again. It's not about your feelings. You're saying you're tired of waiting, but then do what you're supposed to do. You're not realizing to get your objective, to get where you want to go, you have to just sort her out. She'll get there. Is it you that's stopping your relationship? Or is it her? It's her. So sort out her problem. Her problem is you. Her problem feels like you are not listening to her. So listen. You know what I mean? And so I love what Dr. Nicole said. She said, listen, you are the thermostat. You're meant to regulate the temperature in this house. And right now it's up and down all over the quickness to reaction. We saw it in this episode, the quickness to reaction. Slow it down, bro. Yeah. There's some things that Hollywood needs to deal with that's within himself. Some insecurities that are within himself that he needs to deal with. I know, because I've been there. And when I say been there, I'm still dealing with my own insecurities. I got my own I got to deal with, you know, but it's that clutching that he's doing that I can see, you know, the attachment style that he has, you know, and so that anxiousness is playing into how he reacts to her. He don't feel secure, so then he reacts the way he does. I can understand his point. He's not feeling secure. What he's hearing from her is, I'm leaving, I'm going, I'm gone. You know, I'm out of this relationship, but he's not hearing, I don't want out. Otherwise, she should have said, I want out. And that's why Dr. Hollywood said, even you, your own language, Hollywood, when you start saying, you know, I could see a future.
Wait. It's about the vision of where you see your life going.
I saw it with her.
Okay. Manage yourself, because your words, they have...
It's past tense. It's not future tense. It's not present tense. It means that you can no longer see it again, you know? And that's when you hear Ashley verbally give confirmation. Exactly. So there are things that he's doing right now that are not allowing for the vision of the future to come to pass at the moment. Okay, a lot of defense mechanisms, the frustrations of Ashley and the loud traffic that's going on in her head. He ain't going to get what he wants. You want a marriage? You want a marriage? She wants a marriage. But you need to be able to listen to her, bro. And someone might say, well, it's very one-sided. It is very one-sided. Because in order to get what he wants, which is simple, I just want to get married. To get that, you just need to sort out what she's going on in her head. And to do that, you need to listen. Because as you're listening, she's going to return the favor, bro. And you're going to hear, and then she's going to be able to hear what you're saying too. Trust me. Right? And I think Dr. Nicole said it quite right. Ashley's got a bit of a mouth on her. And it's true, she has. Because he's just like him. They're similar in that way. But yeah. So guys, I don't know. What was your thoughts? What did you think about this episode? How did you see it? How did you perceive it? Leave a comment down below. I don't mind if it's long. We might include it in what we're talking about. Hold on. I appreciate you guys still locked. Stay loaded. We appreciate you. Hello?